Great. So it means we can talk business made in Ghana, Kojo.
Yes, last week we were in the Volta. We had about 3 buses in the Volta, and they passed close to Leklebi to Amejope. And I was like, look, let's talk to Emmy. She's doing a lot in the Volta, and you've been investing in the coffee industry and in the Volta region for quite some time now. Tell me about Kawa Moka.
So the next time you pass through Kawa Moka, one of the things you'll see is a cafe that has been set up by the farmers.
Okay.
So they've imbibed, the coffee culture so much that they on their own have initiated a cafe to serve their own coffee to passers-by, to tourists, and to their own people in the community.
Nice.
And that's one of the things Kawa Moka has done to support the Leklebi community. So Kawa Moka is a coffee company, fully Ghanaian, female-owned. We've been in operation for 10 years. This is actually our 10th year. We started as cafes and then branched into the manufacturing because we realized a lot of people were asking, doesn't Ghana have coffee? A lot of people didn't know that Ghana had coffee, so we thought it was important that there should be representation of Ghana coffee on the market. And that's what led us to Leklebi, where we discovered that the community had been growing coffee for many, many years, since the 1930s. It was something that a lot of people were involved in and were growing and selling their coffee. In the 1980s, the market changed in that it was liberalized, so they couldn't find a market for it, and cocoa took over, and therefore the production of coffee went down. And as they will tell you, since we got involved in the community, there's been a rejuvenation. They've started growing more coffee farms. They're interested in growing better quality coffee. They're interested in growing volumes. We have the youth involved in various aspects of the value chain. And it's been a whole journey where we've seen the impact that coffee can make on lives, particularly of the women that we work with.
Is Leklebi the only place you grow coffee in Ghana?
No. Interestingly, pretty much everywhere that grows cocoa can grow coffee.
Okay.
So that whole area has potential for coffee. But because cocoa is our main crop, you'll find that dominating. But over time, especially due to climate changes and demand for coffee, we're finding that more coffee is being grown in Ghana. In fact, the government had a project to increase production to 100,000 tons, which would make us one of the top 10 producers of Robusta in Africa. So there's a lot of potential for creating jobs, for creating impact through coffee grown right here in Ghana.
Wow. So we can grow coffee wherever we grow cocoa. So Eastern region, Western region, Volta, Ashanti, all these regions can sustainably grow coffee.
Correct.
How difficult is it to grow coffee compared to the other crops? Because I see people doing coconuts, cocoa, this, that.
We're blessed with the type of coffee we grow here. So it's Robusta, and Robusta is very hardy. It's also relatively easy to maintain. So you basically plant it. You just need to do a bit of weeding. Make sure we depend mostly on rainfall, which can be a problem in years where there's low rainfall. But you plant it, do a bit of weeding, make sure that your farm doesn't get burnt. There are no animals eating and destroying, and you can pretty much grow coffee in 3 years. You can get about a ton of coffee from an acre. So, and that's a ton right now is about $5,000. So it is productive work.
Wow, a ton is $5,000.
Yes.
So if you're getting a ton of coffee per acre, let's say the exchange rates by tomorrow will be at 10 Ghana cedis. You are going to see some $50,000 per acre.
Cool chop.
That's just the raw coffee.
Yes, correct.
And then you process, add value, and you get a lot more value from this.
Correct.
Is Ghana coffee the same quality as the coffee we get from the known coffee countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, and the Eastern African countries?
I'm very excited to say that Ghana coffee can compete globally. I've had the privilege of sitting in rooms where we have coffee experts, tasting coffee, sampling our coffee. It's called cupping. And the Ghana coffee we've sent has scored 80 plus, which is what is called specialty, which is, the type of coffee that is liked. So it is our flavor profile or how the coffee tastes is rich chocolate. Okay. So it takes some of the flavors from the soil, from the terroir, just like chocolate. So it has that rich chocolate taste. It has a hint of hazelnut and a bit of spice. So especially when it is processed properly, and that has been the biggest challenge, just having that incentive to make sure that we're processing well in volumes. You can have the best coffee coming from Ghana that can compete.
You just mentioned your biggest challenge, processing. Take me through the challenges. How are you dealing with them? What structures do we have in place to help, or should we put in place to help the coffee industry grow and add to our GDP?
Okay. So from a farming perspective, one of the problems is that the farms are small, especially in the Volta region. They tend to be an acre, half an acre. Productivity is low. So whereas you should be getting 15 bags from an acre, some people get 5 bags. So one of our interventions is to educate on good agricultural practices. We've done this in partnership with GIZ, for example, where we're also doing our organic certification. We've done this in partnership with the International Trade Center, just trying to teach them ways in which they can have better agricultural practices to get better yields. So that's one. It's also the lack of mechanization. So a lot of the things that are done are manual, from picking, from weeding. We were at the KIC where we saw these fancy, weeding technology. It's all very manual. So that also becomes a problem. And then, of course, the heavy reliability on rainfall rather than irrigation. We have a beautiful fall in Lake Lebi, which is a flabo, which feeds the coffee farms. But again, it's still highly reliant on rainfall. So we're also seeing some farmers taking the initiative to irrigate their farms using very innovative ways. There's one hose where they put holes in it, exactly, and then it's linked to the stream, and they're using that for irrigation. So you can see that they are highly motivated because they can see the benefits that are coming from growing coffee.
Winston, she's talking about our problems. So.
Yes, that's why I'm listening. Continue.
On the other end, we're also trying to encourage Ghanaians to drink more Ghanaian coffee. So we had Winston saying he doesn't drink coffee. It's fine. There's a growing niche of people that drink coffee. But also, as we're looking at the influx of, foreign cafes particularly, there needs to be an initiative where they have at least some representation of Ghana coffee in our hotels. One of the things that you get from coffee drinkers is that they go to some hotels, especially as you leave the capital, and they don't have, the Ghana coffee to drink. So this, especially with policy, could be very helpful in raising the consumption of coffee in Ghana, and that has a direct implication on jobs. It has a direct implication on the farmers' livelihood. So if there was one thing that I would ask would be changed, that would be it. A policy that would make sure that every cafe in Ghana at least has a grinder dedicated to Ghana coffee.
You've brought us some of your products. I can see Kawa Moka coffee roasters, 100% specialty Robusta, grown and roasted in Ghana. This is Lake Lebi.
Correct.
The medium roast ground. What different products, SKUs, do you have? What mixes of the coffee do you have?
So we have Lake Lebi, which is our premium and our favorite, because there we work with the community. We have projects with our women. We do a lot of training and giving back to the community. So our premium brand is Lake Lebi. We also run farm tours in Lake Lebi where you can get to see the coffee farms. You can engage with the women. If you like dancing, you can do bobobo. If you like hiking, you can hike up to a flabo. It's quite popular, our tour, and we've had some very rave reviews for people who've braved it. Then we also have Volta. So our Volta brand, outside of Lake Lebi, as we've grown, we've had to also expand our cachets for purchasing. So across the Volta, there are so many places that also have really good quality coffee. And so we also purchase from some of those enclaves. And that is what you have in Volta, also processed very well. And then finally, we're fans of Ghana and also showing to the world some of the uniqueness of West Africa, of Ghana. So we have Prekese flavored coffee, we have ginger flavored coffee, we have Dawa Dawa flavored coffee, we have Moringa, and these are things that you find in Ghana.
So you are putting all the flavors of Ghana,
correct,
in your brands.
Yes.
So people can have Prekese,
yes,
ginger.
Yeah.
Did you bring the Prekese one?
There it
Yeah,
is.
this is the Prekese one.
Let me see.
Oh, finally, we've got something that interests you.
Yeah, I think yes.
There was a deputy minister who went to the appointment committee and he was asked to mention the scientific name of Prekese. You remember that?
Yes, yes. I don't know.
Tetraplural tetraptera.
I don't know what scientific names
Idan
are.
fruits.
And
Oh,
they asked
Prekese.
him
Oh, I like this one.
the uses and the advantages of Prekese, and he laid it out nicely.
Exactly.
So Prekese coffee.
High blood pressure, yes. So there are also health benefits associated with these infusions. So you are able to get both the benefits of coffee, which is also rich in antioxidants. It's a very good product. A lot of people have some misconceptions about coffee and what it does, but it's a highly nutritious drink, and it's a great substitute, especially for some of the sugary drinks that we have. It gives you energy. Some say it even makes you live longer if you're consistent in drinking your coffee. So there are a lot of benefits for coffee, and we hope to see more Ghanaians drinking Ghana coffee, even as it gets more affordable for Ghanaians in Ghana, since we are producing.
So if there are people who make gift packs, conferences, all those things, we can include all these things and help to spread the message of Ghana coffee to the world. How do people get in touch with Kawa Moka? How do people get to buy Kawa Moka coffee?
In this digital age, we're we're online, so you could go to our website on www.kawamoka.com. That's KAWAMOKA.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. What's the other one? X.
Yes.
And you can also reach us on our lines on 054-1711-723. So we're very available. You could also find us in retail outlets. So we're in MIG Mart.
The Made in Ghana Mart.
The Made in Ghana Mart is one of our favorite outlets because they support Made in Ghana, and everything there has been produced in Ghana. They have a location in Laboni and in East Legon. It's also Ghanaian owned, second generation. So it's a business we're very proud of. We're also in Malcolm, some select Malcolms. We're in Palace, we're in Fairway. We're widely available. So if you look for us, you'll find us.
Thank you so much, Emmy, for joining us this morning to tell us the story of Kawa Moka and the story of Ghana coffee. I would urge all listeners to patronize Ghanaian goods. Use your purchase power to lift up our businesses so we get the right returns for the economy. Thank you so much. We'll be drinking more coffee these days.
Yes. We'll drink more.
Especially the Prekese.
Yes, the Prekese one.
And
because
the
of the
ginger one.
blood pressure. You know.
Yeah, and the ginger one.
Yeah, ginger too not bad. But I
Yeah.
like the Prekese one.
And the Dawa coffee.
Prekese.
You have Dawa jollof and then you...
Prekeses.
You pair it with the coffee.
I see. Anyway, thank you very much, Emmy Bertha Kukwanson, for joining us this morning. We'll try it, and we like to promote Ghana. After all, we've talked about ownership of the Ghanaian economy by Ghanaians, not by foreigners. So we're happy to be having this conversation. We'll try it, and we'll make sure that you go out there globally and we'll tax your global income. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Here
Thank
on the
you.
Super Morning Show.